Hello and welcome to Qsports. I am Amudu Gajaga and thank you very much if you're just joining us. Coming up tonight on Qsports, we're talking about professional Taekwondo as they held their 7th promotional test in the Gambia over the weekend. Also on Qsports, boxing, as the Gambia Boxing Federation on Boxing Day organized a pre-Olympic boxing championship qualifiers tournament and also a warm-up. Will they really, in fact, take part in the Tokyo Olympic Game qualifiers in February to be held in Senegal? Because they face series of challenges in terms of funding. Also on Qsports, we're talking about the goal scorer or the highest number of goals scored by one of the players in the world. Well, if you're guessing if it is Lionel Messi, Robert Lewandowski, or Cristiano Ronaldo, you might get it wrong, but we will tell you who this person is. On Qsports as well, we are talking about a charity game which was organized between the professional players of the Gambia who are on holiday and the Gambian artists, the Jizzles, the STs. You have never seen them play? Well, on tonight's Qsports, you would have the opportunity to see some of them kick the ball instead of holding the microphone and singing songs. This and many more on tonight's Qsports. On tonight's show, we're talking about Taekwondo. Professional Taekwondo Gambia has held its 7th rank promotion test, and 37 students have graduated or have been elevated to the next level, from white belt to yellow belt to blue belt and to even black belt. With me in the studio is Fernando Abaga, who is the founder and also trainer of Professional Taekwondo Gambia. They're right here in the Gambia operating, and it has been some years now. This is one of the promotion tests. Fernando, welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much, Mamadou. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, we've talked about Professional Taekwondo before, sometime last year. How has it been going for you in terms of training, in terms of the people attending the training sessions, and also how has things been shaping up?
Thank you very much. Since that time that you know of, we've continued working very hard. We have 4 sessions every day. The first session is from 4 to 5, which is little kids. The second one is from 5 to 6, 6 to 7, and 7 to 8:30, which is the advanced group, which includes brown belts, red belts, and black belts. So we're working very, very hard. And like I said, things have been going very well. Maintaining the 4-month cycle of testing has not been easy. It's challenging, but we have been able to maintain it, to test our students every 4 months. During this 4-month period, they go through a tough program. And at the end of the 4-month period, then they are subjected to a test to see how well they've done, and if they've done well, then they go to the next level. So like you just mentioned, for the first time we had our first black belt, which happened to be a female. So thank you. That's wonderful. And then we are going to be talking to her just a little later in the studio after the break. Well, 37 of them have been promoted to various ranks. Tell us how this promotion came about. Did you look at their performance? Do you have to assess them very well in order to promote them to the next level? Yes, actually what happens, first of all, the name Professional Taekwondo Gambia comes from Professional Taekwondo Center in New York. This is where I am a student. When I'm there, I'm a student just like my students here. So I try to follow the program there and the standards there, which my Grandmaster Kim, has in his school. So that's why the thing is that they have 4 months, every 4 months, every 3 months they do test. Here I have 4 months because, to allow people to adapt, because the program is very heavy. So then we check attendance. It's very, very important. We require people to come at least 3 times a week to be able to really absorb, the workload. We look at how they perform. If they come at least 3 times a week, now how do they perform? Are they really mastering the techniques, the drills? And we also look at the overall attitude, how people behave, because discipline is an integral part of martial arts. You know, how people behave when, you know, in our dojo, in our training hall, we have a 25 set of rules that govern the behavior of students when they are there.
So many rules to deal with.
Yes, some of them are so basic that you will not require them, but you know, humans, we are who we are. I mean, for example, you're not supposed to chew gum there, you know, but you may have people that like to chew gum, so you remind them that you cannot chew gum here. People may like to whistle, and you remind, you know, these are some of the things when, you know, you're not the only person that is supposed to talk in me during class. Yes. But you may have people that may want to talk to their friends and here, and you know, so the 25 set of rules are there on the wall, a big poster. So we also look at how people behave. So basically 3 things. 1, attendance, coming at least 3 times per week, which is 48 times per 4-month period. 2, how they perform. Are they really learning? Because it's challenging. And the 3rd one is attitude, behavior, discipline. Yeah. So now, from a month before the test, I announce the day of the test. And from like 2 weeks before the test, then I come up with a tentative list of people that, in my view, they are ready to be promoted to the next level. So these are the ones that are tested. Obviously, sometimes people are not happy, but it's very objective, because what I try to avoid is that if I allow you to go to the next level where you are going to learn things that are completely different from what you already know, and you still have challenges here, then it becomes a bit unmanageable. All right, so that's how we come up with the list. And these are the people that now go to the big day, to the test.
What has been the catalyst for you as far as professional Taekwondo is concerned, Fernando? You're 50 plus. What is keeping you going? And I see you train, I see you doing all the physical activity that is required for the professional Taekwondo.
Okay, that's actually an interesting question. I just turned 63, just on the 20th of December. 50 now is like a young man. Okay. I'm now 63 years old.
New development.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, it's first of all, I've been doing it for a long time, since high school, through university. I mean, through my UN experience, you know, I worked for the UN for 27 years. It's always been, you know, part of it. But at the same time, you know, I also, you know, as I was also thinking of now leaving the UN, I said, okay, what should I be doing? I did not want to continue doing something that would remind me of the UN, wearing ties, jackets, all these diplomatic stuff, consultancies. I wanted to be just a normal human being.
And you don't also want to be like many who will just retire and then sit down and without
Of course not, that's against my nature. That's
sure.
I cannot do. So I just thought, let me just devote my time to this, which I had been wanting to do anyway. I did not have the time because of my full-time job with the UN. So now that I have that time in my hand, I said, this is the thing I could do. I'm there, I'm training, I keep myself strong, I keep myself busy. And honestly, I do not feel my age at this point in time. Maybe when I'm 80s or 90s, but for now, I don't feel I can still keep up with the young people. So that's also a way of encouraging people, you know, my age. You know, it's not the end, you know, like you are 50s, you are 60s, then that's it, you are finished. You're not finished, actually. This is where life starts, and you start enjoying life. So, and now in terms of, okay, yes, I wanted to do it, but where? So, my last assignment with the UN was here in the Gambia as deputy representative. And I thought Gambia was a peaceful place, it was calm, let me just do it here. That's why I'm doing it here. And it's been going fine so far.
Okay, looking at the health benefits of sports in general, and also Taekwondo being a part of martial art, where would you categorize Taekwondo in many martial arts that we have? Well,
Taekwondo is, let me call it a complete martial arts system. Physically speaking, we do a lot of strength training. You have to be physically strong. We do a lot of training with flexibility. You need to be flexible for some of these, you know, high kicks that we do. Agility is important, basically the ability to be able to change positions from here to there and very quickly. And obviously speed. So these 4 areas of physical activity are very important in Taekwondo. Other martial arts may emphasize other things, but for Taekwondo these are very important. And then there's a whole martial art aspect that goes with the discipline and the whole philosophical part of it. I always emphasize this philosophical part, because when you say martial art, people think that you are a thug, you are rustic, and you want to get into fights and all these
so
things.
maybe you're looking for trouble.
You're looking for trouble. That perception is there. In fact, we're trying to fight it. I said, look at myself. I'm an economist by training. I went to university many years, and I work for the UN. I'm a diploma. So that's that perception. I'm not saying it has a foundation, because people watch martial art movies and
all of that,
and
Hollywood and all of that.
Yes. So that's why we combine both the physical part, what I just mentioned, which obviously teaches you how to fight, and the philosophical part, which teaches you how to avoid fighting. That's why you'll see most martial art people, the good ones, go through their life without getting involved in a single fight. And many of them, old age, they die of old age, then they have not been involved in a single fight. So fighting is not part of what we do. So I always try to emphasize that. But obviously, if your physical integrity is at risk, is in danger, like, somebody breaks into a house with a knife and all that, you may need to defend yourself. But normally, you just don't get involved in the fight. And besides, it's beneath you. I mean, it's not something you want to see you don't want people to see you doing. You are fighting on the street and stuff like that. We normally don't do that. It's part of our training to avoid anything that can put you in a confrontation with another human being.
There you go. Anything that will push you into confrontation, Taekwondo is against that. That's Fernando Abaga, who recently has been the founder of Professional Taekwondo Gambia, and they held a promotion test just this past Saturday. And coming up next, we are just going to have a short break. We are going to talk to Maimuna Drame, also part of the training, but has been elevated almost to the highest level. Just stay tuned. Welcome back, and thank you very much if you're just joining us. This is Qsports, and I am Omudu Gachaga. We're still continuing on our discussion on Professional Taekwondo Gambia. They recently held their promotion test. This is the 7th one, and I have the pleasure in the studio to introduce you, Maimuna Drame, also one of the students who has been promoted to another rank, from brown to red. Maimuna, welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mamadou.
Yes, tell us about the experience. First, Taekwondo. Many would say it's not for women.
Thank you very much, and I'm happy to have the opportunity to let others know about my experience with Taekwondo, as well as the female perspective and the Gambian's perspective when you say that you're doing Taekwondo when they see you in the uniform. I've started this journey in 2017 when I contacted Master about joining. Then a few days later, then I signed up for the classes, and I've been doing that since then. So it's been more than 2 years now. And as a female, it's a little difficult for us people to see us in certain types of sports without commenting that it's maybe too difficult, or it's not for a woman, or it's going to hurt you. Because for one thing, when I said I wanted to do this, my father was the first one to say, no, you're not going to do it.
Do it, yeah.
But being stubborn, I said, I'm informing you that I want to do it because I think this is going to be good for me, because he was worried that I was going to get hurt.
Okay.
But then I said, I really want to try this out. And then afterwards he said, okay, you can go ahead. But now Master says that he's one of the people who are proud of me. I even saw on his WhatsApp status that he put me on his, me tying the belt, Master tying the belt for me.
Now, without cutting you, what motivated you to get in? Is it the act of self-defense? Is it the sporting aspect of it? Or is it because of the health benefits? Because once you start training, obviously, you strengthen your physique and all of that.
Well, one I would say is the health benefit, and also because I always liked martial arts. I always liked the idea of a strong female character.
But you're not looking for trouble with
no,
men?
No. Yeah, you see, you're telling me, am I looking for trouble for men? That's the first thing a Gambian tells me. Do you want to beat up your husband?
Yeah.
But that's not the case here, because Taekwondo does not incite violence or promote violence in people. It actually tries to tell you to
be disciplined.
Discipline, yes. It's one of the tenets that we have. We have 5 different tenets. Self-control is there. For if somebody tries to make you fight them, you don't try to fight them. You try to make sure you avoid that fight. Yeah. So you have courtesy. You have perseverance. So many different tenets that come to this. Where it's more than just fighting someone, right? But that's the thing people say. And as a female, I will tell you, if you try hard, you can do as much as the men. Because I am not the only one who is a student there. Both me and another female, Mamsire, we both brown belts, promoted to red belt. We've been with the guys since the very start of the school till now, and we're the same belt rank as them. So meaning it's possible for a woman to go into that, and we're not doing it to fight the husbands or any men. Just don't look for trouble, and you're safe, we're safe, nobody's going to get hurt.
And in terms of doing Taekwondo, I'm sure you must be engaged into something else, maybe work or maybe school. How are you taking the two along together?
Actually, this time I started, I was a UTG student studying physics at the University of the Gambia. But I've graduated in 2018. We had the convocation last February. Right now, I'm currently working as a research assistant at NAJP. It's a new solar company that my lecturer, actually, he's the founder in the Gambia here. So we have sub-branches in different countries. So Gambia is one of them. But to maintain the two, it's not really difficult because I have, there's a time schedule for that. So usually it starts from 7 to 8:30, the current schedule for advanced students.
Students, okay.
Yes.
I'm afraid this is all that we have time for. We would have wished to go on and on and on to talk about professional Taekwondo, especially about your engagement into the sports. But once more, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was Maimuna Drame, from brown to red belt. But like she said, she's not looking for trouble. That's Taekwondo, and that should be a misconception as well for many, especially among men who would think that, you know, once a woman trained any of the martial arts, the person is looking for trouble. We are going to take another short break. When we come back, we have other segments. Stay tuned. Welcome and thanks for joining us. We're straight going to talk about boxing, as the Gambia Boxing Federation on Boxing Day organized a boxing warm-up match for some of the boxers in the country. Well, of course, most of them are amateur boxers, and they are very much ambitious. They want to take the name of the Gambia to the highest level of boxing in the world. But they're constrained. According to the federation, they had to dip into their pocket to organize events on their own. They have no support from the government, as they say it. Well, obviously, we would get into that story and hear from some of the organizers of that Boxing Day warm-up championship at the Serekunda East Semegajane Hall. Let's hear from them. Each bout lasted for just 5 minutes or less, but the stamina, the power, and exchange of punches are intense. Although these are amateur boxers, their determination to be successful in boxing cannot be dampened. Their ultimate target is to qualify for the Tokyo Olympic Games in 2020, and they are training hard, hoping to get support from the authorities. Fode Baji is a national champion and represented the Gambia in several sub-regional championships.
As you can see, we are preparing for our Olympic qualifiers, but yet still we do not have help, you know. And our colleagues, the people we supposed to compete it, those people, their governments are helping them. They are having camp, and then, you know, they are going abroad, having, you know, international training with international boxers. You know, that's what we need, opportunity. You know, if you are to represent your country, you need to be, you know, fit mentally and physical, you know, and you can compete with the higher people. But without the help, we cannot go. Because if at all I'm to fight with the champion of Senegal, if his government is they are helping him with financial, with the training, and he is having training with experienced boxers. So if I said I would be training on my own at my own time, when we compete, I cannot defeat him. Since coming to office, the executives of the Boxing Federation say they have been organizing events on their own without assistance.
This is the love of the sports. Me, myself, I'm working. We all working. But at the end of the month, we have to dip down to our pockets to see what we will do for these young boys, to see themselves into another level. If they can help football, sponsors them, everything, why not boxing? This is why most of the people in this country don't think that boxing is a sport. They see it as a fighting thing. Boxing is a sport. Now countries are moving away from war of weapons. We are using sports to go on war, where they can play the anthem of a nation. One should not joke with it. So we are really appealing from the government to help us. This event you are seeing and the other event that you have attended, we sponsored it all from our pockets.
In sports, funding and technical capacity are required to achieve excellence. Siaka Cisse, auditor and referee of the Gambia Boxing Federation, recently returned from England after attending a referee's training program. The entire trip, he said, was funded by himself.
The training, it was a very good one. I was invited to go and do the training there for 2 days. And I elected myself, paid for my own visa fee, to go and do this training. Though we contacted the relevant officials for the support, but the support was never forthcoming. So that was why we had to do it on our own, to go and do it, because we love boxing at heart and we want to see the sport go forward. The boxers, they need us. So this is the only way we can do to help the sport go forward. We need to revive boxing, and these trainings are very, very key to build our capacity to ensure that we take this sport to the higher level.
These boxers are ambitious of training hard to participate in the Tokyo Olympic Games qualifiers. But there is uncertainty surrounding the whole event with regards to funding and qualification. For now, it remains a dream than a reality. And now to a charity match which was organized on Tuesday by Gambian midfielder Ibrahim Sohna. Alongside some partners, they played the game at the Q City on Tuesday, and the 2 teams that played were the Gambian professional players currently on holiday and Gambian artists. Normally you would see them with their microphones singing songs, and they will make people entertained and they will dance as well. But this time it was to get onto the pitch. Very, very entertaining match, and we'll bring you some highlights of the game.
He's a fleet-footed left footer. Let's see. Whoa.
Players such as Asan Cisse, Musa Barrow and Omar Koli featured for the professional side, while Jizul, ST and Big Fa somehow managed to kick the ball. But the match was not sort of goals, drama and fun. Big Fa, who barely touched the ball in the first half, scored a late goal. Interestingly, he was substituted in the first half but managed to come on for the second time. Earlier, G scored the first goal for the artists. The first half was one-way traffic and, as expected, was dominated by the professionals. Omar Jack Jan scored a brace before Demba Savage and Mamadou Futi Danso added their names on the score sheet. If there was a player who showed glimpses of skill in the artist team, that honor goes to, no doubt, Barhama Cham. He marshaled the midfield with interceptions and intricate passing.
Yeah, it was really good, great. I mean, the fact that such thing like this has never happened in the industry, so it's happening the first time. It's a signal of something, peace, togetherness, and then it's something really beautiful. And I really appreciate the initiative, and I believe that this is not going to be the end of it. We'll be doing things like this frequently. You know what I mean?
Ali Wali, coach of the artist team, says he's impressed with his side's performance despite conceding 8 goals.
Alhamdulillah, we thank God it was played like a friendly and it ended with a peaceful. And to be honest, I was so surprised with the scores because we are playing against the professional. With their footballers, over years they never train. And the final score was like 8-5. That's meant like 3 defeated, 3 not. And 3 never is a good result out of it. And like my boys, they got tired easily. If not, we could have capitalized to make it. And thanks to God, all the artists, they come out and we play and we try. With us a better luck. This initiative we started from this year, and we're going to keep on continuing like every year.
This charity match was organized by Gambian midfielder Ibrahim Sohna and partners. The greater part of the proceeds are expected to go to orphanages and schools. Finally, on Qsports, who scored the highest number of goals in the 2019 calendar year? Well, of course, it's not Cristiano Ronaldo, it's not Lionel Messi, and it's not Robert Lewandowski, who plays for Bayern Munich in the German Bundesliga, but it's Abdulrazak Hamdal. He is the world's top scorer in 2019. The Moroccan forward, Abdul Razak Handal has become the top scorer of 2019, ending the year with 57 goals in all competitions. His closest challenger is Robert Lewandowski, who plays his club football for Bayern Munich, who scored 54 goals. So, an African for the first time. And this is someone who does not even play in the Morocco national team. He last played for Morocco in a friendly international sometime last year against the Gambia. That's all we have for you on Q Sports tonight. Keep on sporting and bye for now.